You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Bruner.
And I'm Ralph Hipp. We have team coverage of Veterans Day all around Northeast Kansas coming up shortly. We begin, though, with that wind out there. It is more than an annoyance. It's really causing damage all around the area.
13's Ariana Cohen is live with what one woman came home to today because of it. Ariana?
Yes, winds have settled down a bit from earlier this afternoon, but they're expected to continue up to 45 miles per hour until 9 or 10 tonight. And this tree right here crashed into this woman's roof, making a huge dent into the roof there, also sending her canopy down, crashing down. Now, I spoke to the homeowner earlier, and she said she normally sits right here, and luckily she wasn't home. Her neighbor told her about it, but her dog was inside the home at the time, and her dog is hearing impaired, so the dog didn't even hear anything. Luckily, all the rooms are intact. There's just roof damage, but she expects it to be about $20,000 in damage. Earlier today, this wasn't the only site of damage. Shawnee Heights firefighters had their hands full with a rapidly spreading fire near Southeast 85th and Adams. The owner of the land, Max Cohen, said the fire burned between 30 and 40 acres. So a lot of damage around the area today, all due to winds.
Ariana Cohen live for us. Thanks so much. Winds also fueled a house fire that shut down Highway 56 near Burlingame for a time today. It's back open tonight. The road is, but take a look at what is left of the house. The Osage County Herald Chronicle reporting the home at 19299 South Highway 56 is a total loss. Crews from Burlingame and Osage County were called just after 3 about this. They say windy conditions caused the fire to jump the highway and spread northwest of the home. The Kansas Fire Marshal just tweeted that they are headed to investigate as well. It is very windy around the area, so you will want to use caution. Just a note, if you do have tree limbs hanging, do not stand underneath them. Be very cautious of what is around you.
Now let's go to Jeremy Goodwin in the Weather Center as this enormous storm system stretching all the way from Texas to Illinois is passing through the heartland with us tonight. Jeremy?
Hi, Ralph, Melissa. We saw several tornadoes touch down in parts of Iowa today and severe storms in Missouri. And around here, it's just been strong winds much of the day. Let's see what we have out there from the peak winds from around northeast Kansas today. Garnett had a 58-mile-per-hour wind gust officially. These are just the official reports and unofficial spots. I'm sure there were gusts of 55 to 60, fairly common. Emporia at the airport, 56 miles per hour. Forbes Field, 54. Billard Airport, 48. And Manhattan had 45 miles per hour. The video at the Capitol building, I took that this afternoon as the strong winds were moving into the capital city. Look at the wind damage in Emporia. This is the northwest part of the Hostess Brands building. It's not a large portion of the building. It's a very large structure, but that piece of roof looks to be about the size of a big rig, and certainly the winds causing that today in Emporia. Here are the winds gusting from the north and west at 35 to 45 miles per hour, and the wind chills are already in the 20s for some folks. We'll all be in the 20s by tomorrow morning for the wind chill. Your 8-day forecast is coming up.
And as all that wicked weather was happening, Veterans Day was happening today as well.
In Topeka, salutes sounded all over town. A gun salute punctuated this ceremony at the Great Overland Station. The Santa Fe Band helped recognize veterans who attended, while the leader of the Kansas National Guard, Major General Lee Tappanelli, reflected on the importance of the day. The ceremony ended with the traditional playing of taps. It was Washburn Rural High School's band serenading each branch of the armed forces during this ceremony at Washburn University. Bells tolled and wreaths were laid to honor those who lost their lives in conflict. Veterans say it's a special day for them as they can interact with those they work to serve and protect. The event also featured a balloon release in memory of Agent Orange victims, and the Standing Bear Intertribal Brotherhood blessed the campus Vietnam Veterans Memorial site.
Manhattan, Eskridge, and Emporia, of course, were honoring our veterans today as well. Our team coverage continues with 13's Daniela Leon in the Little Apple.
Wind didn't stop Riley County citizens from going to Manhattan's Veterans Day Parade.
This is really a great response to what vets have done throughout our history, and I feel like it's a great turnout and a response to honoring the vets today.
The event also helped many veterans feel honored to have served their country.
It just gives me a real patriotic sense, and it makes me feel good that people are remembering those that have also lost their life here, and I'm just proud to be American.
The streets of Manhattan were filled with American flags to honor Veterans Day, but according to one veteran, it takes a certain type of individual to serve the red, white, and blue.
To me, being a veteran is honor and supporting this great country of ours. And I don't care what war a person was in, or even if he was, they're down in the uniform, and it's an honor to do so.
Riley County Police were also present at the parade as a response to the heightened security at public events that is occurring nationwide. Danielle Leone, 13 News.
I'm Tori Mason, reporting from Eskridge, where the community gathered for its 17th annual Veterans Day celebration.
We're able to gather today in a country where it's free to gather and honor all of the different branches of the military, veterans, and those actively serving to protect that freedom.
I just want to say how happy I am to be back here in the Flint Hills of Wabaunsee County on this glorious but windy fall day.
Eskridge, Kansas is a very small town. Only about 600 people live here. So for a crowd to fill the entire city park, our nation's veterans must be very dear to the people of Wabaunsee County.
I grew up here in Eskridge. My dad was in Vietnam. It's a family tradition, and it's something that we really enjoy to come out and support him and show our love for him.
I've been involved in probably every parade that we've had here in Eskridge. It's just the pride of knowing that this community cares for its veterans.
Tori Mason, 13 News.
I'm Carrie Larson reporting in Emporia, a community that has a lot to celebrate on Veterans Day.
Emporia is a founding city. We like to pride ourselves on that.
Every year, they support our nation's heroes with a parade and a service at their All Veterans Memorial.
It's a way for people to give back to veterans that have sacrificed their time and time away from their family. Some of them paid the ultimate sacrifice, and it's just a good way to remember.
During the service, Congressman Tim Huelskamp gave his thanks for everything our vets have done.
I call upon the veterans, both behind me and in front of me, please share your story. The young men, young women, the boys and girls of this country, they deserve to know what a real hero shared.
Many real heroes in the crowd, like World War II veteran Paul Hahn, feel lucky to be part of Emporia's supportive community.
Back then, boy, that's where I wanted to be.
It's really wonderful to be here with my dad. I really look up to him and cherish every moment I have with him, and proud of his service.
A special military marker was placed today in Topeka, a special headstone for Topekan Brigadier General Norman Ramsey. Ramsey served 46 years in the U.S. Armed Forces, starting when he was 16. He volunteered to fight in the Philippines during the Spanish-American War. His gravesite did not feature a military marker until VFW Post 1650 obtained one to honor the soldier. Senator Jerry Moran was on hand for today's unveiling, as were Ramsey's 4 grandchildren in town for the honor. Ramsey was a graduate of Topeka High School and attended Washburn before accepted into West Point. As we honor our veterans, we also note many continue to fight a battle here at home.
And in a moment, in a special report from Melissa, who's there to help them win, how the VA and all of us can help when 13 News continues.
You're watching 13 News at 6 with Melissa Bruner and Ralph Hipp. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
As we salute another Veterans Day this 11/11, we also acknowledge the battle that many continue to fight on their own front. On the average, every day, 22 of our veterans and active duty military die in suicides.
Topeka's VA wants veterans to know they can find help. They've been on the front lines, some in combat, some not, but always surrounded by their fellow troops. The Topeka VA's head of suicide prevention, Dr. Stephanie Davis, says the loss of that indescribable camaraderie can put veterans at higher risk for suicide when they come home.
When they return and try to integrate back into a civilian world, there's absolutely no way to recreate that type of bond that they had. And so they end up feeling really isolated and alone.
Couple that with the traumatic brain injuries many of today's military members suffer that often go undiagnosed, but leave lasting impact on the area of the brain that controls impulses such as the desire to take one's own life.
In somebody with damage to that part of the brain, if they have the impulse to act on it, they may not be able to control that impulse, and so they act.
The VA wants veterans to know it has resources to help.
If you're having thoughts of suicide, press 7
Their
now.
main phone line now includes the number to a veterans crisis line. A flagging system alerts the mental health team when veterans at high risk for suicide enter a hospital. Davis says most veterans who call Topeka's VA seeking mental health care will get an appointment with a psychotherapist within 2 weeks. For more immediate needs, Topeka's VA has a walk-in mental health clinic weekdays. Emergent cases may go to the ER. People who miss appointments are contacted to find out why.
We're all here to serve veterans.
Case manager Marcy Belinsky says a key component for families is developing a safety plan. It identifies triggers for emotional and behavior changes, family, friends, and healthcare professionals to call, right down to how they handle weapons in the home. They'll even give you a free gun lock.
Because if we can slow them down for 5 minutes, they're probably not going to act on those thoughts.
But it's hard to stop something you aren't aware has started. If you notice a veteran feeling hopeless or isolated or talking about death or being a burden, speak up and be blunt.
A lot of times people are afraid to ask the question. They're afraid to ask somebody, are you thinking about killing yourself? And they think that if they ask that somehow is going to implant that idea in their head. And what we know is that that is absolutely not the case. If you are concerned about somebody, ask.
Kansas Senator Jerry Moran is among those calling on VAs to allow easier access to outside mental health services when there's a delay in getting an appointment. Topeka's VA, by the way, has the 4th fastest access to mental care on all VAs in the country. If you do need help, here is the number to call. It's the Veterans Crisis Line, 1-800-273-8255. I have a lot more resources listed right now for veterans and their families on WIBW.com. And tonight at 10, you'll hear some very personal, emotional stories of why winning this battle is so crucial. I hope you tune in to really put a face to this issue.
Right, an enormous issue, and with such a strong military community here in Northeast Kansas, a crucial issue for all of us here. So more on that at 10. We've seen, with that tree limb, we've seen some of the damage it's already causing, and how long are we going to deal with these high winds tonight?
Well, Jeremy has that answer and also what it means for the temps you'll feel next.
This is your 13 weather forecast with Jeremy Goodwin.
Seen a powerful storm make its way across the Midwest. Look at the snow conditions in western Kansas from this morning. This is 10 a.m. on I-70 near the Colorado exit. The People's Insurance road risk this evening is going to be yellow, 35 to 45 mile per hour winds. So please use a little extra caution if you're out there on the roads. And if you're heading up to Nebraska this evening for any reason, look at the road conditions there. We do have snow-packed road conditions on I-80. That's near Highway 281 near Grand Island not long ago. This afternoon, I took a little video out by the Capitol building. You can see the powerful winds pushing those leaves from south to north. Eventually, they shifted around and came in from the west, and that's the kind of gust we're seeing now coming in from the west. But Garnett had a 58 mile per hour wind gust today. Emporia Airport, 56 miles per hour. Forbes Field, 54. Many spots were in excess of 40, and some people close to 60. We had 5 tornadoes reported in Iowa so far today. The yellow dots indicate wind damage across Iowa and Missouri. And again, 5 different tornadoes touching down in Iowa today. Around here, it's been mostly strong straight line winds and not associated with the thunderstorms, but to just powerful, strong straight line winds outside of the rain. We still have winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. I just tried to push the studio door open to check it out, and it was a little difficult to push, so I gave up. But it's very powerful wind still at this hour, still 44 miles per hour at Emporia. And the temperatures are cold, but the wind chills are worse. It feels like 28 already in Concordia. Topeka's wind chill is 40. We were at 70 earlier today. Now the wind chill already falling off very abruptly. Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker showing the snow close to Omaha at this time. Still severe weather across parts of Iowa, moving into northern Illinois at this time, but the severe weather threat looks over with. We are looking at just a stiff breeze tonight Winds gusting to 35 miles per hour to 45 for the next few hours, and wind chill values dropping into the 20s for all of us during the overnight period. Tonight's low 38. We're expecting to see highs tomorrow in the upper 50s, and then near the upper 50s on Friday as well. This weekend looks dry. Our next rain chance is on Monday. So improving.
Thank you,
Keep an eye
Jeremy.
on that.
Yeah, and for keeping an eye on those windy conditions for us. In a moment, we're going to hear from the Washburn Ichabods. They're getting ready for their final football game of the season.
Where has the season gone?
Yeah.
Plus, a local athlete signing a national letter of intent. Find out where she's taking her game to the next level next in 13 Sports.
13 Sports with Chris Lilly.
Hello everyone. High school athletes all over the country have been practicing their signatures, getting ready for today. And that's because it is the Fall National Signing Day, and Cair Paravel's Peyton Williams with a big day. She signed a national letter of intent to play basketball at K-State, but she will also play volleyball. Williams has a full scholarship to play basketball for the Lady Wildcats, and she is the first athlete from Cair Paravel to get the full athletic scholarship to a Division I school, and just the fourth Topeka to get one to play for the K-State Wildcats women's basketball team. Williams on the big day for her and her school.
It feels like finally, like here, I've been waiting for this moment for a while now, and it just feels a sense of completion, actually. Yes, feels great. It was a big deal. Like Division I is big for this. It's the first time at this school ever, so yeah, everyone rallied around and was like, hey, let's go support Peyton, and it feels unbelievable that I can focus on basketball now, but still have to get through conditioning, which is it's going to be tough, but yeah, I'm excited for basketball. I've been looking forward to it.
And the Washburn Ichabods, they wrap up their football season this Saturday against number 1 ranked Northwest Missouri Bearcats, and it's the end of the road for the seniors.
Senior day at home, couldn't ask for more, and against the number 1 team in the nation, man, I'm super excited, and it's going to be a sad ending, but you know, you can't play football forever.
Senior day is probably the toughest. I think it's the one I'm most nervous about, because you want to play well for those seniors. They do so much, and you're proud of each and every one of them, and to be, you know, to be a college athlete, to be a senior is really tough to do.
And there we go. Congratulations to all the athletes signing their national letter of intent today. And that is it for sports. Ralph and Melissa, back to you.
For many, one final day on the football field. Chris, thanks for the update for us tonight.
We'll get a look at what the windy weather is blowing our way. We're checking back with Jeremy next.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
Temperatures will be cold tonight. Wind chill values in the 20s. Let's check out the latest wind gusts. 40 miles per hour from the west in Topeka, 44 miles per hour in Emporia from the west and northwest. Just got a report of a 51 mile per hour wind gust at Lawrence. Our wind chill is overnight, dropping into the 20s for everybody late tonight. And then tomorrow we'll see sunshine but cooler. After today's highs in the low 70s, will be in the 50s tomorrow and Friday. A nice weekend, and then rainy Monday and Wednesday of next week.
The sweater's out.
That's
Sweater
right.
weather.
That's right. The final episode of MASH is airing right now over on MeTV. And for now, we have Wheel of Fortune and Survivor coming up next year.
Have a great night. We'll see you at 10.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports at WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter, Facebook, and our mobile app. WIBW TV is proud to be named the 2015 Heartland Regional Emmy Award winner for Evening Newscast.